Howdy. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to design a chatting script. Now, I made one of these videos before, but it was about 10 months ago when I first started my YouTube channel, and let's be honest, the quality was pretty shit. So I thought I'd remake this, and perhaps this will be a lot easier to understand. So the reason you want chatting scripts are mainly if you have chatters. So if you have a chatter for your account or your model's account, you want to give them as much direction as possible, because the least they have to improvise, then the less chance for mistakes, especially if you're employing VAs from places like the Philippines or places where English isn't their first language. Then the more you leave them to improvise, then the more chance there might be a mistake. But if you have scripts and direction, then this minimizes the chance of them stuffing up. So that's why you want a chatting script. Now, aside from that, it also helps to sell pieces of content that have already been created, and then you design a script around that piece of content. So then you know how to sell it, or you can create an awesome script which will take up a whole session, a whole night, and that will involve like 3 or 4 pieces of content. So the way I design scripts are like this, based on dialogue trees. So if you've ever played a video game and there's an NPC, a non-playable character, they'll normally have a dialogue tree. Based on how you interact with that non-playable character determines what they're going to say to you, how they will respond. And so I started doing that on Word. So first of all, this is a new subscriber script. I've actually been using this on all of our models' accounts for, I don't know, probably over 2 years now. I designed this quite a while ago, and look, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So this is one, as soon as the sub signs up, you get them to do a task for you, generally involving liking a bunch of pictures, which adds to the social proof of the OnlyFans account. They get themselves turned on while they're doing that. Then you give them a tease, and then you follow through and you sling them the full version of whatever that tease was. And now when you go to sling this full version, they can obviously say yes or no. So if you have a script knowing how to deal with that, especially if you're going to be doing the same routine to every subscriber that appears, then it would be worth designing a script for that exact piece of content. And then you can give it to the chatters and you can say, hey, every time a new subscriber appears, use this script with this piece of content. Now, in this one, it's kind of brief. Like, it just says attach short 15-second trailer and then attach full video with blah, blah, blah price. But what you would do here, if you're going to use it with specific content, you would upload that content to the vault. There's a couple of ways of doing that. That's another day, that's another video. But you'll have that content already uploaded to the vault, and then you'll say something like this. So while you're designing your script, every time you go to sell a piece of content, you'll say something like this, like attach October 10, 9 minutes 34 video in whatever folder. So you might have different folders. There might be a folder called new subscriber. And then that will be a folder inside the vault. So inside the new subscriber folder in the vault, you attach the piece of content that is on October 10, 9 minutes 34. Why do I say that? Because that is the only way you can kind of specify what kind of content to use. Not like you can name each individual piece of content. Now, what I would suggest to you if you are going to create scripts is, first of all, if someone else already has a script for a new subscriber that is already working well, just use that. So I've already got this exact one on Empire in my Discord, so you can use that. Now, if you want to design more, which I highly suggest you do, you will figure out what kind of content has already been uploaded to the vault. If a model's uploaded a few different photos in the same lingerie set, and then she's also uploaded a bunch of photos or made content with, you know, no bra or no panties or whatever, or none of it, then that is kind of a good evolution to use in a script. So you'll start off with, at the top of the script, you'll start off with her in the full lingerie set. And then as you progress in the script, it'll be like perhaps without the bra, and then by the end of it, it'll be without all of it, and then it'll be a video at the end, just for example. Just so it's creating a storyline. So if you're going to design this in Word, you will do something like this. You would have your new document. Then you'll go to Insert, Shapes, and you can use whatever rectangle you like. I personally like the rectangle with the rounded corners. And then you'll create your first message. Now, unless it is a script for a new subscriber, then the first message has to be one that can just slot anywhere into a conversation. So for example, if you want to sell a video or multiple videos or multiple photos of the model in the shower that she has already made, that's already in the vault, that you haven't sold to the sub yet, then you would do something like this. Now you just double click or you right click to add text, and then you'll say something like this. So, hey babe, just gonna have a shower because I haven't showered since I got home from work. Maybe I could record it for you if you like. Now notice how this message can just slot anywhere in the conversation. So you can be talking to the sub, he could just appear, hey, how are you? I just finished work, I had a big day, blah, blah, blah. And then you can just say, hey babe, I'm just gonna have a shower because I haven't showered since I got home from work. So I can just slot it in there, and then boom, you're on cue, you can just follow the script. Now, obviously, after you ask a question like this, there'll be a bit of a crossroads. So then you go insert. I'm not going to do this whole script because the video will go for ages, but then you'll go insert, and then you're going to create 2 of these because obviously the sub can say 1 of 2 answers. So you'll simply create the text boxes, and then you go to insert, and then inside the shapes, you can find any arrows you want. It will be easy if you find the arrows that automatically kind of join the boxes. So you can just create that. This isn't a good example. I'm just trying to rush this. There you go. Now you can change that around. There, that's better. That's better. So you'll just create arrows like that, for example. And then you can do this either way. You can either create a shape or literally just draw some text right where the arrow, where the elbow is, and you'll say yes or no. Now this is very rough. So obviously you have one for yes or no. And then you'd follow it up with just some objection handling statements that you should already have on hand. If you don't, there's a bunch on Empire. And all they are is they're just statements that you can say in response to a sub objecting or saying no to wanting to buy content. A good one is like fine, Mr. Boring, or you just ignoring them actually works best. And then you'll proceed with that. So it'll be no. Generally what I would do is you'll create a script like this. You'll have yes or no, and then you'll be like fine, then Mr. Boring, and then you create another arrow. So I'll be like, in case he changes his mind, you'll be yes, and then you'll follow along with this side. Or if he still says no, or he just ignores that message, then generally the next thing you're going to do is just ignore him. Ignore him altogether, move on, do the script with someone else. But then if he says yes, then you'll proceed to follow along how this script would generally play out. Generally, what would happen after this message and this situation is if you already have the shower video on hand, you're going to pretend that you're just recording it now, because obviously the sub will be more likely to purchase it if he feels like it's tailored to him, if he feels like you made it just for him. So even if you have the same shower video on hand that is already in the vault, you're going to pretend like you're just making it for them. So what you would do is after sending this, if he says yes, you'll say something and then you'll just ignore him for 20 minutes. 20 minutes pretending that you're actually having the shower. And then you have that 20-minute break there. I don't know, you'll just write some text here saying wait 20 minutes, and then you'll follow along. And you'll continue with the dialog boxes. And then once it's purchased, you can have that script wrap up. Or as I said, you can continue the script on and have the script specifically designed to sell several pieces of content that could last like a whole session, until the guy has, that's how you know it's a whole session, because once it's done. And that's how you would create them. That's how I create them. I find this a lot easier because the chatters will find it a lot easier to understand. And then you can save it as a PDF, and then the chatters can literally just like copy and paste the text if you want. And that's it. So if you like the video, please smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.